James Maxwell, Dr. Ginger Hamster, Twitter, minds.com. I'm having a breakfast Guinness. Oh, it's delicious. I'm just getting prepped for the Pro Bowl football game. Oh my God. Oh, by the way, Batman, I went to pick up some Newcastle Brown Ale. And at least here in the United States, it's now made in Belgium. I mean, that's blasphemy, dude. Blasphemy. That's what I'm saying. It has to be made in Newcastle or it's not brown. That's all I'm saying. All right, I ran across a story about this train conductor in Canada who was fired. Well, fired a couple times. It's an interesting story. Her name is Stephanie Katelnikoff. She is a, I suppose mid-20s lady. She's got a rockin' body, good-looking lady, got some tats going on. She wants to be a model, and that's cool. It's great. Well, she was fired from her job at Canadian Pacific Railroad because of allegedly some of the rather racy posts that she put on her Facebook and whatever. And of course, the CBC, the Canadian Broadcasting Company, government supported. Here's an opinion piece from Carrie Frock. Or is it Fro? Never know about these Canadians. Opinion. Firing of CP rail conductor over social media posts shows how women in the workplace are expected to conform. Might I change that headline for you just a little bit, Carrie? Firing of CP rail conductor over social media posts shows how employees in the workplace are expected to conform. You might have an argument if there were different standards for men and women. You know, men can get away with a bunch of shit that women can't, and what, but it's not the case. Every job I've ever had, every single one, even before social media, you know, back in the 90s and the 80s and whatever, at some point you sign your name to something called, employees agreement or employees, handbook or something. And you certify that you read it. And typically in this thing, it says you shall not do anything that reflects poorly on the company. Now, back in the day, that could have been a DWI, or, you were a drunk or drug addict or you did something silly in public, especially if you're on television, because everybody, can kind of see you. So you had to sign these things even when you're on the radio. And then after that, engineering, every single job I've ever had, there's an employee guidebook or whatever that says you shall not reflect poorly on your company. Now, in the United States, there's something called the right to work states. A lot of states are right to work. In a right to work state, in every place I've ever worked, is you had to sign this thing. If for any reason you want to leave your job, you can, and you do not have to have a reason. You can just give your 2 weeks and walk away. Okay, that's your deal. Their deal is that anything they consider whatever, it doesn't even matter because you smell bad. It doesn't make any difference. They can terminate your employment at any time for no particular reason. That's typically how these agreements are worded. You can leave anytime you want, but we can, send you on your way anytime we want, and there doesn't have to be any particular reason. The companies that I've worked for since I've worked, they've had this little clause in there. Okay? For any reason, if you reflect badly on the company, we can terminate you at any time. So is that what's going on here with this lady? Let me just make it clear. What this lady does in her private business, she wants to put pictures online. That's completely up to her. I have no problem with it at all. She's got a rockin' body. She looks good. She's hot. She wants to be a model. She wants to post sexy pictures on the internet. That's her business. I don't care. As long as she is doing her job as expected, it should not matter. I agree 100%. However, there is that little clause. If you reflect poorly on the company by what you do in your own free time, you can be dismissed. So Katelnikoff's dismissal was fired late last year for violating Canadian Pacific Rail's Code of Ethics and its internet and email policy. She did actually post some stuff on the internet negatively on her company, saying, it doesn't say what she says, but I can imagine, oh, my job really sucks, or whatever. That's typically enough. That's enough to get you fired. What surprises me, and I don't know, I mean, I read a lot of articles and read videos and listen to videos, whatever, and especially the Facebook comments that you see after some of these, people are using names and places. You know, so-and-so, the chief chef at blah, blah, blah. What the fuck is wrong with you? If you're going to be posting shit online, don't include your employee or your employer and use a fake name, for God's sake. I mean, it doesn't take much, especially in these Me Too Time's Up days, where something you put online could be misinterpreted and you could lose your job, people, for God's sake. Anyway, so she made some negative comments about the company in social media. Canadian Pacific included a number of racy photos Katelnikoff posted of herself on Facebook and Instagram in its evidence package against her, leading Katelnikoff to believe it was both the photos and her comments that led to her dismissal. Possibly. There is a photo here that I will put in the video of her on a railroad bridge. That's dangerous and illegal. It's trespassing. So, you know, that might have had something to do with it. What the CBC here is trying to do, and Carrie Frock is trying to twist this into somehow discrimination against women, or because she posted racy photos on the internet, that's why she was dismissed. It could have been. We don't know. But she certainly is accused of making negative comments about Canadian Pacific Rail on the internet. Even if she was anonymous, she could make up a name. Her pictures are right there. People can see who she is. So this is one of those things it's like, you know, if this lady or whoever wants to do whatever they want, post racy pictures and whatever, it's your business. It doesn't matter. But if it reflects poorly on the company, whether through the pictures or your comments, at least the jobs that I have had here in the United States, I don't know what Canadian law is, but I suspect it's similar. So you can say it's sexism, you could say it's whatever, unless the rule book, Ms. Frock, says if men do it, it's fine, but if women do it, it's not. Then you would have obvious discrimination. But this headline, firing of CP rail conductor over social media post, shows how women in the workplace are expected to conform. No. Employees are expected to conform. The boss makes the rules. If you don't follow the rules, you lose your job. Male, female, transgendered, Z, deer, fawn, fantasy, unicorn, what doesn't matter what you are. You follow the freaking rules. And if you violate the code of ethics, you're done. It's just that simple. James Maxwell, thanks for listening.